Asante sana Rigji, tafadhali tuketi. I am delighted to have the honor of presiding over the closing ceremony of the third National Wage Bill Conference for a number of excellent reasons. The first, of course, is that it is absolutely necessary for government to stay abreast of the public sector wage bill as a component of our recurrent expenditure in the context of our broader fiscal agenda. We must always keep in mind that the purpose of government is to attend to the interests and well-being of all citizens by providing essential services and cultivating an environment that fosters economic transformation and inclusive growth. At the same time, we must always remember that economic governance and management are underpinned and necessitated by the inescapable condition that resources are always limited. Our development needs many, and our strategies robust and ambitious. Our commitments will always be defined by the direction of our resource expenditures. And the question always is, are we throwing public resources into a bottomless pit, or are we making sound investments that will anchor growth and create opportunities for many, if not all? This reality is the fundamental question which follows us whenever we concern ourselves with any aspects of public finance management, and which is always answered one way or another by our budgets, whether it is at the national or at the county level. The second reason why this event is important is that the bottom-up economic transformation agenda has invited Kenyans to bravely confront difficult questions, make hard and often painful decisions, and evaluate whether we are serious about rapid growth and inclusive prosperity. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda examined the levels of poverty in our country, the number of people without employment, persistent food and nutrition insecurity, as well as severe vulnerability to climate shifts. The agenda has also prescribed a radical program of ambitious investment in programs and projects with potential to rapidly and sustainably turn the situation around. These investments in the strategic sectors of agro-industrial growth and food security, the micro, small, and medium enterprise, universal health care, affordable housing, and the digital and creative economy require development financing to be available consistently and over a long period. In turn, this imperative has brought home the implications of a national fiscal culture where recurrent expenditure has grown excessively, devouring development expenditure and depriving the country of opportunities to achieve real growth. In fact, this culture reached the point of borrowing expensive debt to finance recurrent expenditure and consumption subsidies. The cost of this trend is very high debt with increasingly risk of distress, low development, unsustainable recurrent budgets, runaway unemployment, poverty, and of course, inequality. Following extensive consultations around the country, we agreed as a people of Kenya that this situation cannot continue. We have to stop living dangerously and beyond our means. We instead need to tighten our belts and make necessary adjustments to make resources available for productive investment. We have seen the fruit of this resolve. As a result of prudent management strategies and bold decisions, we are now far from the cliff of debt distress. Investor confidence is growing in our country. Our currency has reversed its previous calamitous slide against major international currencies. Our import cover has grown to commendable levels, and our general economic outlook is positive. Food production has grown by record margins in successive seasons. Kenyans are receiving health care at home because of our community health promoters program. Young men and women are finding increasing employment opportunities across economic sectors, starting with our affordable housing program and all the digital space. As I talk to you today, we have 140,000 Kenyans working in our affordable housing program that were not working last year. We have 120,000 young people monetizing their digital skills. And many more are in the pipeline as we implement our program. There is no doubt that the implementation of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda has placed the country on the right path. Consequently, I am confident that the consistent execution of this agenda will deliver the goods we pledged in our manifesto. The Constitution mandates the government to ensure that public expenditure promotes the equitable resource and development of the country. The Salaries and Remunerations Commission is mandated to continuously monitor the fiscal sustainability of public compensation bill, the ability of the public sector to attract and retain best available skills, recognize productivity and performance, as well as transparently and fairly adjudicate on matters which bill. I know, as my deputy has said, if there is one organization that is not very popular, it is the Salaries and Remunerations Commission. They have a problem with the legislature. They have a problem with the executive. They even have a problem with the judiciary because everybody expects more pay. I want to encourage our legislature. I know they have tried in the past to limit the budget of the SRC as a punishment. I want to encourage them to be more patriotic. If there is one organization that needs support to enable us make the right decisions, not for themselves, but for the country, it is the Salaries and Remunerations Commission. I want to commit that the government of Kenya will continuously make it possible for SRC to attend to their mandate and to guide the country and to guide entities on matters, salaries, and wages so that continuously we can live within our means. The succinct theme of this conference says it all. There is work to be done in ensuring that the public wage bill meets the constitutional threshold. In recognition of this challenge, both levels of government resolved to work in partnership under the aegis of the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee in conjunction with SRC and the Council of Governors to set up this conference. As a national government, we have taken the lead with a commitment to reduce our wage bill to 35% of revenue by 2027. I know we've all agreed here on 2028, but I want to encourage us to review that date because it's doable to 2027. As a matter of fact, this very conference was a product of these discussions because we recognize the urgent need for a platform where stakeholders engage on strategies and action plans aimed at achieving this 35% target. Although there is no doubt that government will need to increase employment in critical sectors to enhance service delivery, whether it is in security or in health or in education, the key implications of our deliberation is the need for actions to eliminate duplication of functions and overlaps in roles among ministries, departments, agencies, the national or the county government, and even commissions and independent offices. Even though our public sector wage bill is unsustainable, as it stands at 1.1 trillion, it represents only 62% of authorized establishment in the national government, and 100% recruitment would drive the wage bill to 1.8 trillion. The composition of the establishment itself is problematic in that it is seriously skewed towards hiring support staff at the expense of technical and other core function staff. Clearly, 83% of state departments have violated the recommended ratio of technical staff to support services. We must change course radically. Therefore, we shall review authorized establishments to design fit-for-purpose organizational structures for ministries, departments, agencies with optimal staffing levels and achieve fiscal sustainability at the same time. I have issued instructions to the State Department responsible for personnel issues to make sure that that exercise is carried out and concluded before the end of this year. Our agenda is to work with determination to build on 2 decades of implementation of results-based management with its various tools, including rapid result initiatives, performance contracting, and citizen services delivery frameworks, and deliver an effective, efficient, and transparent public service as a first step to turning Kenya into the hub of public and private sector productivity. A public sector characterized by high efficiency, integrity, accountability, and productivity is vital for the realization of our development aspirations and therefore indispensable for the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It is also essential for our intentions to make Kenya Africa's productivity champion and the host of the African Productivity Center, which we already have been assigned. To get there, ministries, departments, agencies have to be much more serious about compliance with fundamental integrity, efficiency, and productivity standards. The level of non-compliance with vital constitutional mandates uncovered by the Auditor General and the Public Service Commission in their annual audits is unacceptable and amounts to impunity that can no longer be part of our public service. Just imagine, only 24% of our organizations received an unqualified audit, and the level of compliance with the PCS's audit of compliance with national values is far from pleasing. And nobody is bothered. We're continuing as if it is business as usual. I mean, leaders, heads of ministries, departments, agencies that have qualified accounts one way or another don't even bother to ask themselves, what are we doing about it? We cannot deliver for Kenyans when we are burdened with impunity, and we must work round the clock to make sure that we walk away from the current status. Let me again repeat, we cannot deliver for the people of Kenya when we are burdened with impunity and wounded by non-compliance. I want to see reports outlining corrective actions in respect of both audits within the next 21 days. And I expect radical improvements in future audits. It cannot be business as usual. If your accounts are qualified, I mean, you cannot just expect that, okay, it is qualified, so, I mean, you must do something about it. And so I am expecting a record in the next 21 days of, so what? What are you doing about it? It is true that as a public sector, we have an obligation to secure the best skills in the market to serve its citizens. To do this, the terms of service must be attractive and reasonable enough if they cannot outcompete the private sector. Over time, we have made progress in raising the condition of service for all levels of public sector employees. And this fact cannot be denied. In fact, in some instances, the public sector pays better than the private sector. However, this progress was part of a journey which began at the time when public sector compensation was significantly lower than private sector remuneration. The objective was to bring the two categories, public and private, within a reasonable range, not to sustain a practice of perpetual increment. It is a mistake, therefore, for anyone to take the sacrifices Kenyans have made to improve the welfare, working conditions, and compensation of those of us in the public sector as creating an entitlement to automatic enhancement of remuneration regardless of fiscal sustainability or urgent development needs of citizens. It is a tragedy for highly educated professionals to make unreasonable demands in the face of economic hardships and fiscal constraints and at the expense of legitimate needs of other citizens. We have, ladies and gentlemen, and I repeat this, without any doubt of equivocation, we have to live within our means. It is just as simple as that. We have a duty to dedicate ourselves to a citizen-centric public service paradigm and make our contributions to better in order to extend the benefits of development to reach every citizen. Let us be patriotic servants and diligent professionals. I commend the institutions which have won the Wage Bill Accountability Awards for setting a worthy example for the rest of the public service. They just confirm to us that it is possible. So if anybody doubted, they have demonstrated its feasibility. And I congratulate them and I tell them, keep it up. I have carefully listened to the resolutions of the Third National Wage Bill Conference as read here by the chairperson of the SRC, and identify myself with the proposed strategic interventions aimed at putting Kenya on the path to a public service wage bill that is sustainable under the towards 35 aspirations set out in the conference theme. Let us collaborate and remain committed to implementation because that is where the test is. We cannot fail if we work together in the spirit of patriotism, partnership, and teamwork. The government of Kenya remains committed, available, and determined to support every institution in implementing these resolutions. We must therefore get to work immediately and remain on the job until it is done. We have, ladies and gentlemen, a unique opportunity to achieve radical and lasting positive change in our country, whose effects will last for generations. This is why we must remain focused at all times, collectively. The third annual Wage Bill Conference, which we have privileged to attend at this moment in our history. And I am confident that the next time we come here, we will be reporting progress. As I have requested, Madam Chair, that the job that we have assigned ourselves, bringing down the wage bill, from 46% to revenue to 35% to revenue can be achieved by 2027. There are agencies, parastatals, institutions that have already achieved this without the target we have set. They confirm to us that with commitment, with determination, with courage, we can achieve this sooner than even 2027. We need to work collaboratively, we need to work together, and see to it that every agency pulls their weight. And as I have said, already the 2,100 identified people who have been earning government wages and salaries with fake certificates, so that to Susumbuane, they should just refund the money we pay them as salaries and wages, so that we stop the games. Otherwise, EACC, DCI must move with full speed to recover public resources that were spent on these people. Let me also announce here that those who have fake certificates working for government at any level, please surrender and walk away. Because it will not be business as usual as we go into the future. It is impunity of the highest level for any person to walk into a government office knowing very well that they have a fake certificate and actually get a job. I think it is, we spend 65 billion shillings every year on our education, surely. You should be able to take advantage of the 65 billion shillings we spend and get the 650 billion Kenya shillings every year we spend on education. You should be able to take advantage of the 650 billion we spend on education and get yourself a proper certificate. I don't think that it's too much to ask, so that at least we can hire. Part of the challenges we have in the public service is because the people who are working there don't have the qualifications they claim to have. And that contributes to the problem that we have. But finally, let me congratulate the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, the Council of Governors, and all that have participated in this conference, that we are harmonizing our strategy, we are collaborating, we are working together to make sure that we take our country to the next level. And I am very confident this country is a country of tremendous potential. This country is a great country. This country is a blessed country. We can take Kenya to the next level, working together. And I am very confident that it is doable. The third Wage Bill conference is now officially closed. Asanteni sana, and God bless you.